Obsidian didn't have a lot of time to develop Fallout New Vegas. In fact, they made the entire game in 18 months. Despite that, there are a ton of little details that people are still uncovering to this day, almost 8 years later. Here are 7 small details in Fallout New Vegas you probably missed. There are a couple different ways to deal with Benny. You can seduce him, you can fight him in the arena at the fort, or you can just murder everyone at the Top's casino, including Benny. But if you happen to forget what it was you were supposed to be doing in the first place, Mr. House will express his annoyance and set you back on the right path.
Benny is dead, and yet you don't appear to be carrying the platinum chip. I don't suppose you forgot to search his body. Excellent idea.
If you don't have any DLC installed, Dynamite is likely to be one of the first explosive weapons you get your hands on. It's fairly simple to use. Pull out a lighter, light the fuse, throw, then boom. The problem is that on the Dynamite is the word inert. It's actually printed on there twice, once on the front and once on the back. It shouldn't even work as a weapon, but it does. Another small detail is that you can find an American flag printed on each stick of Dynamite. Not necessarily that strange, until you look closer and see that it's not the American flag commonly seen in Fallout. It's a real-world flag. In the Fallout timeline, the United States split into 13 commonwealths and adopted a new flag in 1969, which would make the Dynamite found in the Mojave Wasteland over 300 years old. Caesar's Legion are probably not what you would call friendly. That's why many players will opt for wiping out the Legion from the map by killing everyone at Cottonwood Cove. But what if that's not enough? Caesar can send more troops. What if you want to make sure they can't use Cottonwood Cove for the foreseeable future? Well, there's a truck atop a nearby lookout that's filled with radioactive barrels. With the push of a button, Cottonwood Cove and the nearby river will be flooded with radiation. And if you return after dumping the barrels, you'll find Cursor Lucullus still ready to head upriver, but now he'll be wearing a hazmat suit. As you play through New Vegas, you'll often find characters that have strong feelings about the first battle at Hoover Dam between the NCR and Caesar's Legion. Many lives were lost. In Boulder City, you can find an NCR memorial with names engraved in stone, forever honoring the men and women who died fighting for the new California Republic. If you open fire on the memorial, you'll anger a nearby soldier. You can apologize, or you could say that him and his dead brother are both little bitches, and he'll become aggressive, and then you get to kill him.
Oh, now it's on.
One of the cool things about New Vegas are its challenges. Kill X number of ghouls or discover X number of locations, and you'll get a new perk or an XP reward. One of those challenges is to kill abominations, creatures that show how if God exists, he's certainly forgotten about the Mojave Wasteland. Things like ghouls, centaurs, death claws, those sorts of things are abominations. But so is Mr. House. Once you see his true form, that makes sense. But it's interesting that the game sees Mr. House as an abomination on the same level as centaurs or ghost people. Here's another small thing about Mr. House. One of the useful console commands for making videos like this one is the COC command. For example, COC Good Springs will instantly take you to Good Springs. But if you type in COC Lucky 38 Penthouse, you'll be greeted with something strange. It makes me think of purgatory or something. You're not alone though. There's a man in a red plaid shirt, and he is Mr. House. My assumption is that like Ron the narrator for the end game slideshow, the computer version of Mr. House also needs an NPC counterpart, and this is it. A hallmark of Fallout games in the Bethesda age is skeletons in absurd or heartbreaking places. This could be a video of its own, as they all tell a story in one way or another. My favorite is inside one of the houses in Jacobstown. In it, you'll find a skeleton on its back as if it fell backwards in his or her chair. Look on the table, and you'll find a set of cards with 5 kings, even though a normal deck only has 4 kings. It seems as though sometime long ago, he was caught cheating and was killed for it. Just like Fallout 3 before it, New Vegas has a Canine Companion. However, this time around, you can put a bit more of yourself into him. You see, Rex needs a new brain, as he's a cyber dog. One option is Old Lady Gibson. She's got an old dog that she's ready to have put down. That process is surprisingly brutal.
Fair enough. Here, Ray. Mama's got something for you.
Anyway, once you get her dog's brain, you can have it installed in Rex and you'll be good to go. But if you return to Old Lady Gibson to do some trading, you'll find that she's now selling a dog bowl. The dog bowl she no longer needs because she has one less dog. And that's going to do it for this video about 7 small details in Fallout New Vegas you probably might have maybe missed. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything, leave a like. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video or didn't learn anything. Follow me on Twitter at Mitten Squad. My name is Paul of Mitten Squad. Have a wonderful day.